Hey, how's it going, all you lovely people at Shut Door or Doorshutter, coming back to you with episode 35 of the Direwolf20 1.20 mod pack, and today we are getting into making bacon. So, I've got the Hoglin farm thing going here. This has some wither skeletons attached to the actual Hoglins, so we are doing voiding of all of those items, and then of course leather and miniature hearts are being saved, so that way we actually have leather that we don't need to craft all the time, which is fantastic. So, slicer, I've got this set up just like a normal mixer. What we're going to do is we're going to just right click, not even shift right click, just right click, because shift right clicking does nothing. So right click, that'll attach the knife that you have. I just picked one out of our system that we had sitting around, and we're going to just turn this on, okay? So you can see that this is operating. So if we grab some pork chops here and we just toss those in, you can see that this should start working. The wrong direction. Okay, so that's something we need to look out for. So let's see if we can get that flipped. There we go, just like that. Okay, so that is working, right? We're making bacon. So the next thing we're going to do with this bacon is kind of just the exact same thing we did with the bread. We need to turn the bacon from raw to cooked, and that'll get us to where we are. So bacon, I just quickly want to take a look at this. So this is cooked bacon. And of course, cooking this is just do bulk smoking, and we should be golden. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put a entangled block under this, or under the ground here, so we don't have to run a pipe from the chest to there. That way it's just easier overall. So let me get the smoker part done, because it's simple. We'll get that into an ender chest. We'll get that thrown over back to the bread area, and we should be able to start figuring out how we want to auto-craft all of those and all that fantastic stuff. So I know I'm also going to put a drawer, and I quickly, before we head off here, I wanted to mention I did add to the bread factory a shutoff. So this is quite simple, just inventory checker. Hey, if this is at 2,000, shut the entire thing off. So we're not using power, we're not using any of those resources and all of that stuff. So it's a fantastic option. One of the things, of course, we got to remember, this will sooner or later fill up, and it'll start causing items to fall into the ground. So we may want to look at something for that. But for right now, that shut off is what we're going to implement over on the other side as well. Be right back. Alrighty, so I actually ended up using laser nodes and everything, the actual advanced laser connectors, to kind of connect those across dimensions, so we didn't use another ender chest here, but that allows us to kind of just get into the counting upgrades. So we should always have 64 bread, bacon, lettuce, or cabbage, not lettuce, and tomatoes in here, so that is fantastic, right? So we've got that start. We've got 4 stacks of bacon sandwiches, and of course the laser connector is up here as well. So we're kind of being able to push all of the items together without needing to make complicated ender chest arrangements. I just went ahead and made a crafter tier 3 from RF Tools. These aren't too expensive, and they're pretty decent. We could have looked at the Ender IO one, but I just kind of went ahead. Oh, I didn't even know there was a crafter upgrade from pedestals either. But yeah, so crafter tier 1, which is just a machine frame. Then, you know, tier 2, tier 3, nothing too expensive, nothing too crazy. To set a recipe, whenever you open this, you just need to click on a blank recipe, fill in your items, click apply, and that's fantastic. Of course, we're not using anything like buckets or, you know, single-use items that get used repetitively, so we don't need to worry about really changing too many settings here. So, that is fantastic. Okay, so we're going to grab another drawer here. And I want to set this, I think, right there. And I want to grab a puller upgrade. Actually, I guess we could set this on top. It doesn't really matter in this case. So let's just push this to the top here. And this will just make it to where we can, of course, pull out of the actual crafter. Let's quickly grab that out of here, because I did teleport over there, but that's fine. So we'll set this here. We'll grab our puller upgrade. Put that in there, and that should start pulling bacon sandwiches. Awesome. Okay, so functional storage. This is just going to be a probably diamond tier upgrade, I think. We won't do netherite because I don't feel like getting a smithing table. But yeah, so that should basically quench our food, right? So this is going to be decent as can be. So if we wanted to, we can go in here and we could get rid of this old food, and we can just kind of start throwing bacon sandwiches in here. So of course those do, what is that, 5 hunger bars, and then 3, 6, 7, 8 saturation bars. So that is some pretty decent food if you ask me, and I'm excited to see how well that works out for us. So yeah, that is our food bacon sandwiches complete. Of course we could do chicken sandwiches if we had a chicken egg. I don't actually, let's see, chicken sandwich. So this is equivalent actually to the one we're doing, it looks like. Yeah, that's actually equivalent. So sandwich, I thought there was another one. So yeah, there's the egg sandwich. What other foods do we have from Farmer's Delight in here? Because I really didn't look. I kind of just went with whatever I found. So I know there's quite a few different foods in here. So like plate of honey glazed ham. This is actually, yeah, the honey glazed ham and then cut down. The smoked ham, a large cut of meat from a pig or hogland's leg. You'll need something lighter than a sword to cut one. So I think if you used a knife here, you would actually be able to do that. So I'm curious if you could set up a pedestals method of taking out hoglands and maybe make some ham to get just the normal ham piece. That would be kind of interesting to check out. But right now we're not too worried about it. It's a plate of roast chicken. So there's definitely some better out there, some better options in total. But yeah, like steak and potatoes, that would be way better for saturation, of course. But, you know, that's okay. Bacon sandwich for now. We may make something else in the future. But, of course, all of our systems are going to turn off once they get enough in here. And, of course, we ran out of bacon, which we didn't have too much in the first place. The slicer is terribly slow. I will say that. It is awfully slow. So we might have to look at another option, or maybe just get multiple, because it is just so slow. But I think it also may be this. So we might look at changing that to an iron furnace. Maybe. Let's actually turn this off. We have enough pork chops in here to last us quite a while. So I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, so we'll definitely have to look at that. I think I might change some of this stuff up off camera. Get rid of the water mill, put an iron furnace here, and kind of see if that can improve things. Because I think it would, but I'm kind of thinking that this slicer here is really what's doing it for us. It's kind of causing that issue. Alright, so this is actually a much more effective system, apparently. Forget the basin, crank up the electric motor, put a depot down, and the slicer just goes to town. I don't know why this is, but it just works. I don't 100% have any idea. Okay, so after just kind of taking a peek here, after improving the other system, I see that the flaw with this system really is the mills and everything. So this kind of whole portion here, I'm kind of thinking that we just kind of replace most of this with a crafter. I love the system, right? But I want something faster. Kind of. I don't know. I don't know if we really need to make this faster. I think really we just kind of need to make sure we have enough wheat here. I mean, we have over 1,000. And so what I'm thinking is probably just replacing this with a crafter. Just simply doing bread, you know, 3 wheat, calling it a day. Because even though this is technically more efficient, it's not doing it fast enough. And I'm wondering if it is just kind of the mixer being slow. Because I feel like the basin is kind of what it makes this whole thing slow at the end of the day. I mean, we could crank this. And see, it still doesn't go down, right? Because I think it only can hold 1 item at a time. So maybe if we had a buffer here, like at this point, and then pushed it down into that, that might make it faster. Here, let's try that. So drawer, and we do a puller, upgrade. So this right here. So drawer, let's not do that. Yeah, because we have a ton of flour sitting here. So the millstones are not a problem, right? We can tell that from this. So let's do... Get that out of here. So that is the south direction. Yeah, it is south. So let's see. Can we toggle this? Yes, we can. Okay. Because my thing is I want the dough put in here, locked, and then here, pull from the south, Okay. I think this might actually solve part of our issue here. So let's just get as much of that flour as put in there as possible. And this is going to start mixing it, right? I mean, it's doing it significantly quicker. That is for sure. And then if we were to do pipe... if we were actually just to get rid of this system here, this whole water wheel encased fan, I love this system. I love how it doesn't use power, but I think we're past it. Honestly, I was kind of thinking this would be cool to keep it and as much create as possible, but I think that's slowing it down as well. So let's get rid of that. Okay. Let's grab a furnace. So let's go. I need to auto-craft these furnaces in all honesty. But that's okay. So iron, gold, diamond, emerald, obsidian, netherite. And then we want to grab, of course, a speed and factory augment. I hope you guys don't mind me doing this on camera. Kind of just wanted to take you guys along for this to kind of show you how I'm going to improve this one. Since the other one was kind of just strange, in all honesty, with the slicer and changing it to a depot. Of course, here we can't do that, so we got to kind of figure out a better method here. So let's do this. Change that to digital mining. This we're going to do to the right is input, to the front is output. Okay, so we'll turn that on. We will do remove. And then here we're going to do the augments, which is speed and factory, which we're going to do a split. So that'll start making bread. And yeah, this might be the limitation now. So we've got one of the limitations kind of pushed out, which is the actual encased fan thing, which is still cool, just not very effective. So that is that. I really would love to try and get this removed, or maybe we triple it. Maybe. Could we do that? Could we triple this? If we grab 2 more basins, right? So 2 basins. Let's grab this drawer. We can do this, right? We can do these shenanigans. I think we can if we incorporate modular routers, if we want to keep this compact. So let's grab pipes. I don't need flux points. I need pipes. So here and here. Basin. Basin. We're already getting items in there, which is fantastic. So the mixer. So we'll just need 2 whisks. 2 cogwheels. And that is 2 mixers. So mixer. Mixer. Alright. And then we can just simply do an item pipe here and an item pipe here. And we can say input on the... Which side is this? Okay. And then that is tripling the output without really doing too much harm. Right? I think this is a decent set. And then, of course, we're outputting. Okay, so this is you know, not removing the mixers. We're not doing the 3 crafting wheat to bread. I think this is actually working. I think you can see that it's more constant than what it was. So the iron furnace, 2 more basins, that makes it perfect. And let's see how much wheat we're going through here. So let's snag that. We got wheat flour in here. So yeah, we've got still a decent chunk of wheat in here as well. But yeah, I think that'll be that. I think this system is complete as much as it can be. And I think we'll focus on something else for now. Because, I mean, the biggest thing is this is going to be sitting here. It's not going to be really being messed with too much. We're not going to pull from it constantly. That is going to be left up to everything else, right? So, all right, let's see. Let's do show space. There we go. Kind of close that in so it stops taking everything from the outside range, because it is kind of annoying. I was trying to throw the wheat flour in, and it just went right back into there. So that's great. Oh, we kind of need to get rid of that. So I'm kind of thinking, how do we want to get rid of the seeds out of this? Because we don't need them. So dough. Let's see. I failed at throwing that. See if we can toss them in here. I should probably just have a buffer point. Let me do that. Let me push this all back left. So the mixers and everything over here are going to stay. But I'm going to actually put some buffers on the millstone. So let me do that real quick. You know what? I really didn't have to move these back, but I did anyway. We're actually going to just change this up with some modular routers. Kind of make this a little bit simpler. But this placement actually will allow for us to see the actual items, inventories, and everything. So we're going to put wheat in here. And then the trash can that I have is actually going to go sit right there. Because that's going to contain seeds, right? That's going to be our seeds output. I didn't want to throw the seeds away. I wanted to put them in the whitelist here. So that whitelist, there we go. And then we're going to grab some modular routers. We're just going to kind of do this on camera because it's been a minute since I've done this. So puller module, we actually need one more of these bad boys. So let's grab one. Let's clear these two out. So I think, can I only do one location on these? Yes, okay, so one location per. So we're going to pull... Okay, so we're going to pull from all three of those, all of the items that they have, and we're probably going to want some speed upgrades. Okay, so speed upgrades, perfect. And then we're going to do a sender. We probably just want to use the sender Mark 1s here. Nothing too overkill, because we're going to send wheat flour to the upward direction, okay? And then the other one is going to be wheat seeds in the front direction. So whitelist front. Let's make sure we whitelist there, and then throw these in here. Okay, and so that will require, it looks like a stack upgrade. Do we have those? Yes, this thing right here. So let's grab some paper. Don't really need too much paper. So stack. Hopefully that'll make things faster. Okay, and then we're going to grab one more modular router, just so we don't kind of confuse us a little bit here. So let's grab one of these senders. So we're going to send... Is there a Mark III version of these? Just a distributor? Let's see. Can we grab one of these distributor modules? I think that'll be pretty good. So distributor module. So here, here, and here. Take those seeds out of there. We want to distribute the wheat flour. We're going to round robin, transfer out of router, whitelist, and then we're going to pull. So we need a puller module going from the left. Doesn't really matter what they pull because it'll be locked and everything. Okay, so we want speed. Let's grab some paper real quick. I want a ton of paper. That sounds good. Okay, so blank upgrades, grab just a handful of those real fast. Some speed upgrades. I want to grab some stack upgrades. So speed, stack. What am I running out of on speed? So that's 4 and 4. So now these basically should be sending permanently everything we need, right? There should be no issues, and this should be running significantly better than what it was. Because we won't have seeds and stuff blocking that, which we could have definitely done this without moving the millstones, but now if we wanted to, we could actually add more millstones, but we're not going to do that. But you can actually see how much milling is actually being performed here with the wheat flour and everything. So I'm kind of thinking maybe we could add another set of basins. That might not be a bad option, in all honesty. That might be worth it. I'm kind of thinking that might be worth it. Because we could just use modular routers to get those working too. Because with this distributor upgrade, you can transfer into the router. So that means we could pull items from these, which would be the actual dough and everything, and then throw it into the iron furnace, which is an option. So that might be something we want to look at. But I think for now, we're going to kind of call it at this one. We're going to wrap this up here. So we've got we got the bacon. We got the goods at the end of the day. So we got the bacon sandwiches. We have one system that is significantly better than the other, which is the bacon side, while the bread is kind of lacking. But the bread requires more steps, and we kind of need to improve every single one of those steps before we can go much further. And it looks like the millstones outperform the actual basins. So if we were to improve the basins in this case, we might be better off with doing that overall, right? So another thing I need to do before I forget with the inventory checker. So this is bottom dirt. I thought the inventory checker was below it just for a second, by the way. That's why I went down there. So dirt, that's the blue signal. So we need to clear that. So blue, and then blue. So I'm going to work on trying to get this a little bit better, because you can see we're getting way too much of that. So I'm going to put some more basins, put some more mixers, and hopefully we can figure out this all here in the upcoming episodes. But we have food, right? That is the biggest thing, and we should be using less of the food overall, just because it is more saturating, more hunger filling, all of that fancy jazz. So thank you guys, stay awesome, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye bye.